what's up, guys? Here is another episode of going to see my nephew play. I didn't do the intro when I got there because I did go with my dad. It was like 40 minutes away to go see him play. But yeah, what I gotta say real quick was just like it was an amazing game. Me and my dad had got there earlier. We watched their C team play, and it was a close game. They literally just won by like 2 points, I think. But as Jordan and the game got started, you know, it was just fun to watch because not only it was a close game, but like it was just so frustrating because both teams were not making it. And, like they were just, I think they were both off their game because they were making baskets or they were missing the layup or something like that. It was just so frustrating. But at the same time too, this time I didn't record too much of Jordan, just because like the whole atmosphere was too hyped up and I was getting too focused in the game. Plus, I think it was distracting him a little bit. You can tell in some of the clips that like he just keeps trying to look at me or look at the camera or look at my dad or look at even his mom. So it was, I think, a little bit too distracting. And it was just such a close game that I kind of like didn't record much. But he did good. He got 15 points for sure, and I remember that because I looked it up. And they finished like 45 to 43. But it was just cool because for me, watching Jordan play and having that mentality and kind of him getting that own experience of being in that tight game is important, I think, for you as an athlete because you have pressure on you. You have, now in this situation, you have an atmosphere where people are yelling at you, telling you off, right? Like trying to distract you, and that's where it was nice to see him pushing through it, playing his best, and just getting steals and making great passes and getting assists. And I think that's one thing that's not considered too much, I believe, is that the passion for it, right? And I think that's one step into his career as far as into anybody's career, is that when you get in a game that's so close, you're pretty packed, arena or your stadium or the stands, like it's nice to know that you're going through that and you need to and able to get your mental space right. And the more you play, the more you kind of get those moments where you get nervous, you get excited, you get more anxious, but you get more thrill, you get more like hunger from wanting to win, wanting to make a basket, right? And I think it was nice to see that from him in this game because it was just all of them. All of them was, you can tell a lot of these kids were nervous. They were a little bit freaked out in those moments, but most of them did pull through and they got the win. It was just so nice to come home, recollect, not only myself as far as a coaching career, but it's nice to see that, to reminder that this sport is big on passion, right? And I'm not only talking about basketball, I'm talking about soccer, right? It's big on passion, big on what you love to do. The fight, the competitiveness, the thrill of it, and it was just so nice to see him like even do a little flex. It was nice to see that because I think athletes or even players now, they take that for granted, right? They take that for granted as far as being appreciative to play this game, wanting to get better, wanting to fight, wanting to play against people that want to win as bad as you do. And I think that's just so important for you as a player not to forget why you play the game, who you play the game for, and it has to be for yourself. And of course, in my opinion, it has to be for God first, of course, but everybody's different where again, play for yourself, right? I think people tend to forget that. People tend to forget where they come from and how they played and how they grew up, and it's just nice to see that, and also to just be right, just be right for yourself, be right for God, be right for your family. And I think it's just gets you nervous sometimes when you're playing a game and you tend to forget those things, and those are key things that you just really gotta stay focused on. I just loved it. I loved watching. I love the competitiveness. It was so good to. It was funny too, right? I mean, they're kids, and it's good to see that passion, that little like hell yeah, that little dab up, that little like chest to chest bump, and it was just so nice. And for me to miss so much that I've been missing out of his life, it was a risk, and I think that's what every player should consider going out of state, is that it's a risk. You're gonna miss a lot of birthdays. You're gonna miss some pretty big events in some of your family's lives and your friends' lives. And the main thing is to know and to remember that, the family always love you, and I always love my nephew, down to earth, and it was just nice to, make up for those years as much as possible. to support him and be there with him. And I think for those who are considering out of state, that is a risk, right? And it's tough, but at the end it's worth it, because when you come back, then my nephew's face gets bigger and bigger with a smile, because he knows, like, oh, my deal's here. Like, he's here for a little bit, but he's here for me. And it was just so nice to get these moments, watch not his first high school game, of course, with the last video, but now I have seen 2 of his high school games. He's averaging now in total out of those 3 games, he has 40 points. It doesn't tell me how many steals, how many assists or anything like that, but it just tells me right now he has 40 points. 17 on the video I posted, 15 on today's game, and I think the first game he had 8 that he played this season, and I think he was doing good. At the end, he did get a cramp. He was supposed to play with varsity that night, but I don't think it worked out. I mean, again, because he got cramps. But yeah, it was just nice to see that, and I think every player should be reminded the fact of, like, hey, like, this is more than like life. This is where people go to get their minds off things. This is where people goes to, put in that effort and have another purpose to play the game, right? And I'm only referencing the soccer, because the basketball is a little bit. I mean, I feel like they're the same, right? Any sport, any passion you have, it's cooking, anything. I mean, it's what you love to do, but you got to put time in it, and it's nice to see that from these younger kids' side, that you can tell who's been working and who's been, busting their butts off. And it was just such a proud uncle moment to go see that. It was proud for my dad to see him too, to see his nephew play. And it was just a great game, and big shout out to Jordan's team, and they did really good. Some really good players, putting in everything they got. It was just so nice to see, and I think you guys should understand that fact of, like, passion is everything, because that's what makes you love it even more. That's what makes you drive it even more. And yeah, I think it was just phenomenal, and it was just great to see that. But yeah, that's the video. Again, I just wanted a little bit on that, but thank you guys for, again, watching this video. Remember to like, subscribe, tell your friends about it, tell your family about it. Right now we did hit 70 subscribers, so we're on a roll. Remember, keep going, keep sharing. I really appreciate the support, the love you guys give me. And yeah, see you guys later.